My name is Kirsten. Sitting at the dining table of my late grandmother's house, surrounded by the silence that once held so many memories, I'm reminded of the long and arduous battle over her estate. It all came to a head when my sister, Ava, stormed in after receiving the certified envelope containing the updated will. The envelope, with my name written in my grandmother's meticulous script, had finally arrived at my doorstep a few days after Ava smugly informed me that I'd missed the will, reading. She'd laughed over the phone, that sharp, self-satisfied laugh, telling me that the house and the money were already taken care of, and I should get used to fighting for scraps. Little did she know, I'd already met with Grandma's attorney, Mr. Thompson, weeks before. Let me rewind. My grandmother, Mrs. Evelyn Harris, was a strong, willed woman who'd spent her life as a bank manager. She'd always been the rock of our family. I was working part-time as a freelance graphic designer, which allowed me to be there for her during her final days. I'd park on the street every morning, use the spare keys she'd given me when her health started to decline, and check the whiteboard by the fridge for the nurse's notes. My sister, Ava, lived just 20 minutes away in a modern, upscale neighborhood. On paper, she was the high-achieving one with a full-time corporate job and a seemingly perfect life. But in reality, I was the one who spent most days by Grandma's side. When Ava did visit, it was always in a rush. She'd click in with her high heels, drop her designer bag on the chair, and start talking about her busy work life. Her phone would constantly buzz with notifications, and she'd never really focus on Grandma. Grandma, though, was a keen observer. She noticed how Ava's attention would shift from her face to the antique jewelry box on the dresser or the small safe in the closet. After Ava's visits, small things started to go missing. First, a pair of diamond earrings disappeared from the bedside table, and then a gold necklace. I tried to convince myself that Grandma might have misplaced them, but deep down, I knew something was off. Ava's visits also changed. Instead of bringing flowers, she started bringing envelopes full of financial documents. She'd tell us that she was helping our mother, who was too overwhelmed, deal with Grandma's paperwork. She'd go on and on about how expensive it was to maintain an old house and how unfair it would be to leave our mother with the burden. Grandma, ever the astute woman, started taking notes. She'd ask me about the doorbell camera app, and I showed her that Ava had been visiting on evenings when I wasn't around. Each time, she'd leave with a heavier bag. Grandma didn't say much, but I could tell she was keeping a close eye on everything. One afternoon, Mr. Thompson called me. He said Grandma had asked him to speak with me alone about her estate. When I met him at his office, he slid a folder towards me. Inside was the updated will. In it, Grandma had left her house, her savings, and all her personal belongings to me. For Ava, there was a mere $10, with a note saying it was to show she hadn't been forgotten, but was a deliberate choice. Mr. Thompson explained that Grandma had been tracking Ava's behavior for months. She'd been taking written notes, saving doorbell camera clips, and sending all the evidence to his office. She wanted her estate to reflect actions, not expectations. After Grandma passed away, Ava took over the arrangements. She coordinated the funeral, and when the topic of the will came up, she started to control the communication. She told our mother that she was in touch with the office and would let everyone know when the will reading was. When she finally told me I'd missed it, I just listened, remembering what Mr. Thompson had shown me. When the certified envelope arrived, it set off a firestorm. Ava burst into our mother's apartment, demanding that the will was wrong. She claimed that Grandma was too medicated to understand what she was doing and that someone had influenced her decision. She started throwing around legal terms like undue influence and lack of capacity. The next day, Mr. Thompson called to inform me that Ava had filed a petition to challenge the will. At the meeting with her lawyer, Mr. Thompson presented a stack of evidence. There were the hospice records showing that Grandma was alert and engaged when she signed the will. The sworn statements from the 2 hospice staff members, one of whom was also a notary, described how Grandma repeated the key terms before signing. Then, there were the doorbell camera stills of Ava's suspicious visits, along with the handwritten list of missing items and the receipts from pawn shops. The last page was Grandma's own handwriting, stating that she trusted the person who'd stayed with her selflessly and no longer trusted the one who treated her home as a prize. After reviewing all the evidence, Ava's lawyer admitted that any attempt to overturn the will would face serious obstacles. Ava gathered her papers and left without a word. In the weeks that followed, the legal part was resolved quickly. The court accepted the will, and the estate was transferred to me. But the emotional toll was long-lasting. Ava stopped contacting me, and family gatherings became awkward. I decided to stay true to the facts and not get drawn into any more drama. Living in Grandma's house now, I feel a deep sense of responsibility. I pay the bills on time, fix what's broken, and help the neighbors when they need it. It's my way of honoring the woman who saw everything and made the right decision. And as I sit here, I know that sometimes letting the consequences of one's actions speak for themselves is the most powerful thing you can do. So, if you've stayed with me through this whole story, thank you for listening. It's a reminder that actions truly do speak louder than words, especially when it comes to family and trust.